Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Mike and this is Build and Tinker, and we're back with our Ford Falcon XB GT Post-Apocalyptic Edition from Hachette. There's been a bit of a delay in getting to this stage. We had a 2.5 month wait since the last video on this car, purely because of an issue with PayPal. For some reason, and no one really knows why, they just cancelled my subscription payment, so the parts stopped arriving. But Hachette were really good. Got it all up and running again. It got me out the parts nice and quick. So I've now got this issue plus the next 4 already here, so we can play a bit of catch up. So today we're doing issues 43 to 46. Yes, 43 to 46. And that is, we're going to put exhaust, we're going to put the trunk liner in, and we're going to put the fuel tank in. So without delay, let's get going. And as a bit of a recap as to where we are with the car, we have most of the chassis really from the tail to the front subframe already assembled. We've got some electronics in here and a lot of the cabling with this really quite tidy cable management that I quite like. The rear wheels are fitted, as you can see here. They're pretty nice wheels. I really like them. I think they're quite nicely detailed. We have assembled the front wheels, but we haven't fitted them yet. But they're in a box. We've also made both the doors and some of the engine. Again, they're not fitted, so they're currently in storage. So let's have a quick look at which parts come with issue 43. So the parts we get with issue 43 are this trunk liner, and it's a really nice rubber mat that sits inside the trunk. We also get the filler pipe for the gas line, and there's another little hose there, not sure what that's for, and a packet of screws. The hose is the breather pipe, apparently. Well, so the installation of this rubber mat is pretty straightforward. You take the mat and you put it in the car. It really is as straightforward as that, and it's got some cutouts to go around some of these screw holes. And there's a little cutout just here into the wheel well. I'm not quite sure what that's for, but we shall find out. You'll see the battery, for anyone who doesn't remember, the battery compartment is here in the trunk. So we'll see what we can do about, as you know, with my cars, I always mod them. And power is normally #1 mod. A lot of the mods I buy actually double up as a power mod. So we've got the Mike Lane Bat Circuit, I've got the Kit Ultimate Kit, and some of my other models have got the Mike Lane RF mod. As well as adding remote control and lots of other features, they also double as a power mod to run off USB-C. In the meantime, having put the trunk cover on, we now take these two pieces. That's the filler pipe and the breather pipe. And on the base of the filler pipe is this little post here. Hopefully you can see that. And the this breather pipe just pushes onto that post. And it's quite a nice long post, so it holds it nice and firm. Doesn't feel like that's going to fall off, which is good. And right down in this little hole we saw earlier, there is another little post, and that breather pipe goes onto that post just there. And then the filler pipe, which has a keyed end, that goes in here so that it's facing, it's got to be facing out towards the side of the car, obviously. And we need to just make sure it's sat in that keyway. There is a screw now that we need to do from the underside of the car, which is always fun when you're trying to hold it all together and not break anything. The screw is a chrome screw called PS02. We'll get our trusty Vero screwdrivers. I'm actually going to tip the model up onto its side rather than put it fully upside down. And from this angle you can see where we are inserting that screw underneath. And there we have the filler pipe installed. Now it does go through a hole in the mat, so if you lift the mat up, you can't lift it too far because you want to be careful not to break this off. And of course we do have under the mat the spare wheel well. I don't know if there's going to be a wheel to go in it. We shall see. We've only been given 4 wheels so far, I think. So, but that's everything for this issue 43. So we'll move on to issue 44. We get one part in issue 44, and it's this one. It's the fuel tank. It's a rather large plastic piece with a hollow inside. Would have made for a good battery box, actually, and made it a lot easier to access the batteries and maybe even install a power mod. But now that we know that it's here, gives me a few ideas for how we could mod this. There's a packet of screws as well to attach it. and not surprisingly it goes on the underside of the car. So for this we need to flip the car over, but we've just installed this filler pipe, so naturally we want to be careful not to break that off. For this our trusty pieces of foam come in handy, so we are going to get the car on its side first. We'll gently roll it over, and I'm going to place some foam just to sit underneath the wheel arch on this side and keep this filler pipe, which is about here, off of the desk. And then we take the fuel tank, and that sits over here in this void, and there are 4 screw posts, 2 in the rear here and 1 either side. And the screws that we're using are black ones, and they're called DS02. And that's that installed into place. Now, of course, in this void we have the spare wheel well as well, which goes into it. Not fully. Makes you wonder how much fuel you could fit if you've got a spare wheel in there as well. But we need to consider, if we are going to do some mods, we don't have use of all of that great big space. We'll flip the car back the right way up, and that's actually the end of issue 44. It's pretty quick and easy, so let's break out issue 45. In issue 45 we don't actually need the car because we're just going to start assembling the exhausts, and they come in this box here. And there's 2 exhaust pieces and a packet of screws. So the Ford Falcon XB-GT, in this configuration at least, has these wonderful side exit exhausts, and they come in 2 halves, and we need to bring those halves together. So we take the outer ones, and then we've got these inner ones, and they fit underneath like so, and then they will line up together like this. And then we're going to have to put a screw in there to hold these 2 pieces together. The screws they give us are chrome PS32s. We're going to need 3 in total to get this completely together. So 1 screw goes in the middle here. That's holding this together a bit better now. And then we've got 2 more screws, 1 in each of these holes here. And that's that exhaust assembly all put together. And obviously these chrome tips are what are going to stick out the side of the car. It's going to look pretty cool, but we don't fit them to the car yet. That's literally all we have to do for this issue 45. So we'll put these parts to one side and we'll get out issue 46. In issue 46, we're actually going to keep the parts we've just made, and we're going to add to them with this other sort of front half of the exhaust plus this muffler. So it looks pretty straightforward in that we start by taking this small half of the muffler. It says it's got a number 2 stamped into it here, and we're going to take the part that we just finished building, and we're going to bring those together like so. Let's get that all in shot so you can see. So that's going to sit in that tab just there. And they've given us a few different screws. The one we want is a PS02, and it's chrome. I quite like the fact they've given us chrome screws on the areas where they would otherwise look a bit in contrast with the part. And that's going to go in here. There we go. And then we take the other part of the exhaust with the other half of the muffler, and we bring them one on top of the other like that. It's pretty straightforward and self-explanatory when you get it together. And then again, 2 more of the chrome screws in this muffler. And then there's another screw that just goes in this end of the pipe. We've now got quite a big piece of exhaust. It looks like we're going obviously from the exhaust end through the silencer and then very close to what will probably be the header. Now we are going to fit this to the chassis, and for that there's another bag of black screws, PS05s. So let's get the chassis back on the table. And of course, again, we're going to need it upside down. So we'll reinstate the foam pieces underneath this wheel arch. And this particular one, which is the right-hand exhaust, it does have an R stamped on the tab that we put in there. That's going to go onto this side of the car. It's pretty obvious, I think, where it goes. You've got these 2 posts, and they're going to go into these holes just here at the back. And once you get that lined up, there's another post just here that goes into a hole and just sits perfectly in place. Actually, it holds itself quite nicely. Obviously, it won't stay there till we screw it down, but it's quite a nice fit. So it looks like we're going to need 5 screws, and of course they will go in from the top. So we now need to hold the exhaust into place whilst flipping that over, and continue to hold it in place. This is where a magnetic screwdriver is quite handy. This Vera screwdriver, by the way, it comes unmagnetized, and you can get a magnetizer for it, which is quite good because you can then magnetize this and any other screwdriver you own with this magnetizer. It's also a demagnetizer, so you can remove the magnetic capability if you want. I'll put a link in the description as to where I get all of these parts and tools. So we've got 2 screws here holding this end of the exhaust in, and then if you just follow it around, you'll be able to feel where the other holes are. There's one just here in the chassis. There's another one just there. As you look down, you can just see the chrome of the exhaust through them. Again, it's plastic, so don't do them too tight. A final screw here. Well, sorry, one more screw here. The actual final screw, I believe, is just here. No, it's not. Sorry, that was the final screw. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws all in place, and you can see the header of the exhaust pipe is poking up now into the engine bay, ready to connect to the manifolds when they are there. And that is everything for this issue 46. Again, pretty quick and easy, the same as all of them were today. And that's the end of everything we're going to do for the video. It's nice to see the exhaust. I do love a side-mounted exhaust. So it'd be good. There obviously is going to be another set on the other side. So I hope this was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment below as to how you're getting on with your model, or if you've got any questions or criticisms. And I'll be doing the next video. I'll be filming it straight away, and I'll get that one out reasonably soon. I'll leave a little gap between them, but I think given the wait we had on the last one, I'll get these next 2 videos out in a reasonably quick succession. So I hope you enjoyed it. Click like and subscribe and comment below if you haven't already, and have a great day, and I'll see you next time.